Konnichiwa, everyone. I am the Real Manos, and this is my first mate buddy, Deadpoolzilla, and we're going to be talking about this past week's episodes of Steven Universe, week 2 of Summer Adventures. Say hey, Deadpool.
Hey, everyone. Let's talk about some Steven Universe.
That's right. And let's start with, we're talking about 5 episodes. They are Restaurant Wars, Kiki's Pizza Delivery Service, Monster Reunion, Alone at Sea, and Greg the Babysitter. And let's start with Restaurant Wars first. And that's mostly a pretty funny episode. Not really too plot-centric to the overall story, but it's another episode revisiting the Beach City characters, and it's Steven trying to intervene in a war that's going on between the two big businesses of the beach.
This is a fun episode. I think this has probably the most anime references. This and Kiki's Pizza Delivery Service have like some of the most anime references I've seen in a while with this show. With this, you can clearly see with between Fryman and Kofi, they're clearly making an Akira reference when they're yelling at each other.
And there's some kind of Food Wars show or anime. I can't remember the name of it.
No, you're right. It's called Food Wars.
Oh, it's called. Okay. Haha. I forget. I know more about anime than I think I do. And they definitely reference on that one. Last week they kind of referenced Initial D with the Beach City Drift episode. We didn't really mention that. That's what I love about the show is they don't make obvious anime references. Because the two things I see the most are Akira references, and it's usually the sliding bike shot, and just general speed lines referencing, like, oh, hey, it's like an anime, and it's like, or the character turns really cartoony and goofy when they say something. Like, this show has specific influences it goes for. So if you're an anime fan, you pick them up. But if you're not a anime fan, you kind of don't really notice them. And there are times there are times in the show where I haven't noticed it until like a fan picked it up and like, oh my god, I'm so dumb, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like with Kiki's the ending of that dream sequence. That's clearly a reference to Evangelion.
I know. Oh my god. It's such a, especially if you put the shots side by side. It's really beautiful the way they render it.
Yeah, thank God they didn't go with the original ending of the anime. That would have been really weird.
That would have been strange. But I really love the fact that Steven goes right into the Romeo and Juliet angle, and that doesn't work. Did you think? Let me ask you. Did you think Ronaldo really had a girlfriend?
I honestly think he didn't. Because that dude is so socially awkward, I would doubt it. On the side note, I would really like to see, not them as a couple, but I want to see Petey and Jenny hang out. Like, they're the most sarcastic and witty of the two respective families. I want to see them hang out and just tear everyone apart.
Yeah. And how cool was it that Ronaldo's girlfriend, we've actually seen her a couple times?
Yeah, I was like, that is a cool callback to a character.
Yeah, like she's the checkout girl in episode 17, which is like, that's Lion 2 the movie. She's the ticket girl. And then she popped up in Beach City Drift nearby, standing near Ronaldo. It's like, oh, that's why she was there, because they were dating. And one more thing about the episode is I really dug the cute restaurant setup he did at the end with the crystal gems.
Yeah, that was really cute. And I'm just surprised the gems went along with the plan. They usually don't get involved like this.
They don't really care so much for human stuff, but if Steven asks them, they'll do it. That's what's I think so charming about their relationship. Like, hey, I need somebody to play backup in my band. Okay, we'll do it. It's like, hey, I need to make this fake restaurant to make these two restaurants that you don't go to come at peace. Like, no, okay, we'll do a waitstaff thing. Yeah.
It's like all Pearl knows is fine dining and breathing.
I think Pearl enjoyed being a waiter. She seemed to really be into it. Yeah, and of course, Garnet barely gives a crap. It just stands there, which is funny. All right, let's move on to Kiki's Pizza Delivery Service, which, we were just talking about just a second ago. And speaking of anime references, the episode title is an anime reference to Kiki's Delivery Service. Matter of fact, the whole title of the episode is within their episode title. But yeah, it's actually references more to Evangelion at the end, which is surprising. And it's Steven being more proactive on helping people with his dream power.
Yeah, which is it's a very, like you said in your episode review of the new Lars, it is a terrifying power. And you know, I want to see him kind of go a little overboard like he did with Lars. I'd like to see that in a future episode, where he does the whole overshadowing thing and he just can't get out of the body.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, that could happen. Although maybe with the episode, the Lars episode, maybe he did kind of learn like the line. Oh, he does that. He tends to do that with his new powers. He screws up and goes, "Oh, okay, that's way too far. Let me do that." He's done that over and over again with discovering his new powers. And I was really happy. The thing I liked, the thing I liked most about this episode was the fact that we got to know Kiki a little bit better, who I thought has always been kind of an unappreciated character.
Yeah, I completely forgot that she and Jenny were twins, honestly.
Yeah, that's so bad. I mean, we get a lot of Jenny, which is fine for the voice actress. She plays both. But yeah, we barely see her. We got her in like the first Lion episode and then the beach party episode, but then she's kind of a little bit more of a background character sometimes.
Yeah. What I also like about this twin dynamic between Jenny and Kiki is that it's not antagonistic towards each other. Jenny honestly doesn't realize what she's doing to Kiki is kind of hurting her.
Yeah. And Kiki is just, she puts it all on herself, and she doesn't have to. And, if she just says no and stands up for herself, Jenny will be cool with it. And this has all been on herself internally, which I really liked about that resolution.
Yeah. Also, I couldn't, when Steven kept chanting Dream Warrior, I couldn't get the image out of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 in my head.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's obviously what the writers were doing. I don't know if Steven has seen the film. Probably not, because he's not a horror fan.
Yeah.
But
actually, I'm pretty sure Pearl would not allow that.
Possibly, no. But yeah, I love the fact he was chanting Dream Warrior. Like, yeah, it's the last few episodes. I'm glad we're getting a chance to see Steven kind of deal with the Beach City citizens and helping people in small ways and big ways. So yeah, I like this one a lot. All right, let's go to we're going to skip Monster Reunion for the end, and Greg the Babysitter I think is adorable. I love the flashback episodes. Anything with Rose is great. We get to see a little bit more Rose, and I love learning more and more about her. Like she's kind of a doof in this one, which is wonderful. Like she talks about babies, and she doesn't understand that babies can't just be left alone and do what they want. I love that speech about she has where it took her a while to learn that babies and adults were the same thing, and she really goes into why humans are so great, because they grow and develop and change, which I thought was I think that speech clues us into her motivations a little bit.
Yeah, whereas we find out that gems, when they're quote unquote born, they stay the same. That is their personality. That is everything. It's very much like how in the Man of Steel universe, when Kryptonians were born, that's they're supposed to be.
Yeah, they're like bees.
More or less.
They're born fully formed and they have a function. Go to it. And Rose apparently was possibly inspired by the fact that humans don't do that. We're not. That's not how we're done. Oh, and yeah, I love seeing Vidalia in this one. And her friendship with Greg. And and I also love seeing Rose display her powers a little bit, like destroying Beach City property again.
We also get like a taste of how powerful she was, because she is.
Oh yeah, I mean we only got a glimpse in the Answer episode, but I can't wait to see her more do stuff like this.
Yeah. Quick thing on Vidalia, real quick. It's really nice to see that I don't think she's gotten with Yellowtail at this point yet. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's not really mentioned.
Yeah, but for a single mom, she's actually doing pretty good at this point.
Yeah, she must be like managing stuff. She may be living at home. Maybe that was her parents' home at first, or I mean, she's doing pretty good for a house like that.
Yeah.
And a baby that apparently has a full-grown man voice.
It's also kind of cool to see her go from this rock and roll kind of form to like, I'm instant mom now. It's not like she wanted to get. It's never hinted in this episode, because a lot of people are thinking, oh, she got just dumped with the baby and she didn't really care. No, she's a capable mom.
No, she made the decision when she had sour cream that she was going to grow up, and that, of course, is the example for Greg. Like, you know, you got to grow up, you got to get a job, you got to do something with your life, and that's definitely right there in the episode. And yeah.
Plus, I didn't realize it until someone told me about a week ago. Hey, that's Pacifica's voice actress. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool. She's a really good voice actress. Then I like her a lot in both of these roles. All right, let's move on to Alone at Sea and Monster Reunion. How much time we got, Lindsay? Awesome, 15 minutes. All right, let's see. I love all the episodes this week, but I really love Alone at Sea.
Yeah, this was another way of how well the Steven Universe staff has been writing these kind of plots, because this really delves into an abusive relationship.
Yes.
And it's done so masterfully, and it never says, it never says any key words to make you go, oh, it's about abuse. It shows you.
Yeah, it assumes you're smart enough to get it, and if you don't, you can still enjoy the episode for what it is, from the way it's written. The relationship between Lapis and Jasper, and it's in an interesting way. You can actually make a case arguing which one is the more abusive in the relationship. Because, Jasper is like the evil villain of the two that she was trying to keep. She was the one who forced them into the relationship, but Lapis was the one who basically punished her throughout the entire thing, kind of breaking her down.
Yeah, Lapis was the one who, more or less, she even said, I took all my anger out on you, and I didn't even know you. Yeah,
I think what I love about it is it's an abusive relationship, but it's also really sophisticated in what the relationship was. It's not just simply one was bad and the other one was good and the victim. They were both at fault. They were both in a bad relationship that they couldn't get out of until they were forced out. Which is fantastic. I mean, I can't think of another cartoon bad relationship since Joker and Harley, and that actually got more simple as it was written. And this one, wow! I mean, this one, like, you can really talk. You could, when you start talking about it, you can really get into, like, who was worse.
Yeah. The major thing here is that even though Lapis, you got to think to yourself, Lapis managed to fight off Jasper this time, but it could be another time when Jasper comes back, she could give in. It's very clear that she could she could have a breakdown and give in to fusing with her again.
She could. I do think this episode we saw two things happen in one moment when Jasper tries to hook up with Lapis again. Is Lapis is willing to acknowledge the fact that she was terrible and really wants to move on. And Jasper is not ready to move on. She is kind of getting into her her rock bottom, I guess.
Yeah. She's literally becoming every piece of white trash you've seen on Cops.
Yeah, and she's not, she hasn't, hit her turn yet. And, if she's going to improve as a person, or just continue in a downward spiral, she's just starting. Where Lapis is trying to really fix herself. She talks a little bit about the things she's done. And you know what? I want to bring this up here because I haven't reviewed this solo yet for my channel. I wonder if Lapis had anything to do with the corruption.
That is interesting because that could be a case because, they've looked into each other's minds, so maybe Jasper saw something, and again, we don't know why Lapis was put on Earth.
Yeah, we don't know. She didn't specify why she came to Earth, and maybe she had something to do with like the creation of the corruption bomb. I guess I'm not sure what you call it yet. I'm not sure if she helped design that, or maybe they pulled that information out of her when she was in the mirror. Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling she might be connected to it, and that is just really a hunch right now. I don't know if I call that a full-on gem theory, but
it also looks like. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I just had that feeling I just had that feeling after watching this episode because, yeah, they talk really about like something terrible she's done, and you're a monster.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. It also looks like. Jasper's becoming more and more mentally unstable, like you said. And it also looks like, for the rest of these episodes, we're going to be entering kind of like a Jasper saga. Yes,
this is going to be great. For those of you who haven't seen like the clips, Jasper, I think, appears in 2 episodes in this upcoming week, so get ready. Let's finish off talking about Monster Reunion. And
broke my heart.
Which broke my heart, too. You want to start off on that one?
Yeah, and I want to actually start off with a theory I'm kind of working on with the diamonds.
Okay.
It's becoming clear, and it's becoming to a point where we're starting to see not so much Homeworld as the villains, but more of the diamonds themselves as the villains.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And the thing is that I'm starting to see that maybe it clearly wasn't Rose, as I was kind of thinking that caused the end of the war. I was under the assumption that Rose did something so bad it ended the war. No, it was the diamonds the whole time.
I think this is what I've had. I've had this feeling for a while, and I think Monster Reunion confirms it for me. Is that Rose and the Crystal Gems fought off Homeworld, Autobot Decepticon style, and I think at the tail end, I don't know if it was Yellow Diamond or whoever.
I think it was White Diamond.
Possibly, but they decided like we're losing this. Okay. We're going to leave. We're going to create this cluster and planet in the Earth to explode in 5,000 years, made up of the dead Crystal Gem warriors. And as we leave, we're going to like explode this corruption bomb that will turn them into monsters. That's a pretty sore loser.
It's becoming clear that the diamonds are incredibly petty.
Really, yeah. I mean, we're getting into dark side evil here, so that's pretty evil and messed up.
Because it's even when Peridot says there's so much potential for resources here, Yellow Diamond was like, I don't care about resources. I want that planet to die.
Yeah.
So it's becoming clear that the diamonds do not give a crap about absolutely anything other than winning.
Yeah. And, we've had it noted last week that their resources are depleting on Homeworld. So, Peridot knows about that. And, yeah, Yellow Diamond doesn't care. So, yeah, I mean, definitely the Diamond Authority, of course, obviously the big bad for the series. I'm just curious, like, who is in charge right now? Is it just Yellow Diamond, or, what are Blue Diamond and White Diamond all about?
I'm starting to think that White Diamond was the one behind whatever caused the corruption, because when the Centipedal is making the emblem, she makes all the diamonds white.
Well, she can't really... Yeah, that's true. Well, she can't really have a chance to really color them all in. Although, of course, you notice the pink diamond is missing from that group.
Yeah. And we see when Steven tries to help the Centipedal back to her crew, when he touches the ship, the hand glows pink, like it recognizes him.
Yeah, that's right. Or it could be the fact that he is part of the pink diamond court. Physically at least, because he's got rose quartz as gem. Definitely. Also, yeah, one thing about the cluster is it didn't really matter who got caught in the middle of it, because Centipedal apparently was a homeworld gem, and she and her crew just got unlucky and was stuck there.
Yeah. It's very, like, when she's doing these doodles to tell the whole story, it's heartbreaking.
Oh my God, yes.
I think, like, a part of me broke when she was showing the images of all the gems running, and she starts crossing them out going, pow, pow.
Oh, I know. Oh, kind of like displaying, like, killed in the war. And they let that moment hang, too. I mean, Steven obviously gets it and is unnerved by it. And they don't really do much music in that moment. And, God, the whole telling the story through crayon bit I was really effective. And I gotta say, this episode got me more emotional than the Monster Buddy episode. Monster Buddy episode was kind of a little predictable, kind of the old Yeller kind of story, in a way. But this was like someone who was halfway there and trying to, like, recover who they are and can't, and, becoming more unstable and don't want to. And it's really heartbreaking, actually.
You could make it much like with the case of Ice King in Adventure Time, a case for, like, someone who has Alzheimer's or some kind of disease that you just can't cure. Yeah.
And, Steven's doing his best, but, like, you can only do so well when someone's broken down like that. God, yeah. I mean, this episode was very effective.
Yeah. There's also a moment that almost made me cry, was when they tried to save Centipedal the first time, and she's halfway there, and the rest of the gems are like, no, we can't help her, and they ask Amethyst to poof her, and they hold Steven, like, don't look. It's like, oh my God, it's an old Yeller moment.
Yeah, it was. It was totally like, yeah, okay, hey, don't look, Steven. We're going to kill your friend here. Yeah, I mean, it did take a quick dark turn for a second. Oh my God. I think that's it. Do you have anything else on the episode or any of the other episodes?
I will say that it's very clear that we're going to be delving in, especially into the next few episodes, and probably the rest of the season, that this is going to be where we're going to find out more about what happened on the final days of the war, and possibly even more like the Diamonds are going to be like, well, let's go down there and find out.
Yeah, I think this week and a little bit of last week, actually a lot last week, we got a chance to kind of breathe a little bit after the cluster story arc, and, we got to roam around and have fun with some episodes with Beach City, with some more lighthearted episodes, with some touches of the story. But, yeah, with this week's episodes, we're definitely going to be jumping back into the more serious Gem War stuff. And I'm really hopeful we start learning more about the cluster. It looks like they're building up that story. Not the cluster, the corruption. The diamond corruption. And we have the moon episode is coming up soon.
Yeah, which I'm betting on it's going to explain what's in that sphere.
Oh, I know. Oh, God. Well, that's the only thing I could think of that they would even talk about. And we'll see. I don't know. Maybe we'll finally get to learn, like, which diamond Pearl belonged to. I don't know. I feel like we're getting close to those episodes. All right. I think that's it. Is there anything else you got to say about?
Not really, other than I'm really looking forward to see where we're going next.
Me too. All right, I think that's it, guys, and we'll be talking to you next week about Geez, some great episodes coming up this upcoming week. The Gem Hunt, the Bismuth episode, Steven versus Amethyst. These are all episodes I'm very excited to see. So we'll be talking to you next time. I'm the Real Manos.
And I'm Deadpoolzilla.
And we're out. Deadpoolzilla?
Push the button, Lindsay.